Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to dive on the jewelry train once again, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys my small yet predominantly rose gold fine jewelry collection. I'll also be unboxing the latest edition, which is something I picked up from Hermes recently. And no, this is not the correct box for it. It's a little deceiving, they just ran out of boxes. But I'll be opening this up to show you guys what I got, as well as sharing my collection, how much I wear each piece, pros and cons, as well as any wear and tears. Alright, so let's get started. So before we get into my jewelry collection, I'm really excited to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Vivaia. So Vivaia is a shoe brand that I've always been interested in purchasing because not only do they make very cute shoes, which is kind of like a dime a dozen, but they also have a strong focus on comfort as well as practicality. And that's rare, I don't know about you, to find shoes that have nice padded insoles but also look cute as well. So they kindly sent me two pairs of shoes to review. So they sent me the classic Area 5 Degree flats, as well as these Tracy pumps with a tiny little block heel. So the Area 5 Degree flats are their signature flats, and this is the most updated version where they actually changed the swing of the point 5 degrees inwards, made a wider toe box. So you're finally gonna get a pair of pointy toe flats that are not gonna squeeze your toes in the toe box. So as you can see, all of their shoes have these padded insoles and these padded heel area, which is just really going to make a world of difference for comfort since your feet are not really naturally flat. There is a curve to it, and by having this cushioned insole, which gives more padding as well as the shape, it really does make the shoe a lot more comfortable. So these insoles are also antibacterial and breathable, and there is a rubber non-slip outsole. So a bonus and very interesting feature that they have with all of their shoes is that they actually have these almost like removable and interchangeable bows, which can really just change up the appearance of the shoes altogether. So for the Tracy heels, they actually come with this specific bow, which you can detach, and you can wear this pair of shoes just as is, like a more minimalistic design, or you can pop the bow on for a more feminine ladylike vibe. For example, when I pop those bows on the Area flats, it just makes the shoe look a lot more fun. And the best part about this removable feature is you can kind of place it wherever you want, and you can get a really unique design. You can even put it in the heel area if you wanted to. And they just have a bunch of fun ways you can really just kind of play around with the bows, and it'll almost kind of give you like a whole different shoe altogether. So just with two pairs of shoes and two pairs of bows, you can really kind of make all sorts of different design shoes that look a lot cuter and a lot more interesting. So the shoes are actually made of this recycled yarn, which is produced from recycled water bottles. And the best part about these shoes is they're actually machine washable. So you can throw them in the washing machine and then just let them air dry for about an hour, and they should be good to go. I love the padded insoles. I think that's probably the best feature, and I just love how comfortable it is. It doesn't really pinch or rub anywhere. So I do find that the sizing chart on their website is quite accurate. When you measure the length of your foot, it does correspond pretty well to the Area flats that I got. However, I would size down half a size for any shoes with a little bit of a heel, since I find it fits a little bit better. And it's actually their second anniversary in June, so they're actually having some anniversary specials on their website, and they've kindly given me a discount code. And you guys all know how much I love discount codes. So use the discount code JANEVIVAIA for 15% off of your order. And the best part about this coupon code is you can use it in conjunction with whatever promotions they have on their website. All right, so now let's get back to the unboxing of what I picked up from Hermes recently. And I've been loving this piece so much. So I followed a lot of your suggestions on my luxury wish list video, and I decided to pick up the Pendant earring in the rose gold and the extra small size. So in terms of how often I wear it, like I said, I don't take it off. I wear it to shower, to work, everywhere, because it's just so versatile. So as you can see, the pros of this piece is absolutely that it's just very comfortable. It lays very flat, so it doesn't feel like there's anything on your ears, which is just very great for something that you're just gonna keep on all the time. The thing that I love about, these earrings is the backing. And I've had backings where it kind of looks like those two loops loops with the stud going through it. And I just have to say, I really do love these circular backings a lot more because it makes it incredibly secure and you don't have to worry about it falling off, makes it easy to clean. So I also love how it's very low key, right? People that don't know Hermes probably won't know that it is from Hermes. They'll just think I really love trigonometry or I have a lot of spare soda pop tabs. At the price of only 1,000 Canadian for a fine jewelry piece at Hermes, I would also say that is pretty good, you know, pre-spend much, right? Fine jewelry pre-spend. I think it's just a very worth it piece in my opinion. So in terms of cons for this piece, I really can't think of any. I'd say that for the money, it's really worth the price. I also bumped into the sweetest Savi at Hermes and it was such a pleasant surprise and she just really made my day. So shout out to Florence. Okay, so now let's move on to my other jewelry pieces and I'll be talking once again about how often I wear it, pros and cons, as well as wear and tear. So in terms of wear and tear, I have to say all of my items, there's not that much wear and tear on it. Because mainly they're just very, very dainty thin rings. They're not like the Cartier Love bangles where you're gonna get a lot more scratches. That's gonna show a lot more. So I mean, if you really wanna take close looks at the ring or the bracelet, I'm sure you can probably find a scratch somewhere, but realistically, like who's gonna look that close to your jewelry pieces, right? So yeah, don't really have to worry about it. I'd say if you have it already, just enjoy it, just use it and make the most out of your money because you're gonna be the happiest when you're actually wearing them. So my very first fine jewelry item, which kind of opened the door to fine jewelry for me, was this Tiffany&Co pearl diamond necklace. I'll link the name down in the description box below, but it's basically a white gold chain with a little diamond on top and a pearl on the bottom. I've always been a silver jewelry girl all my life growing up. So I thought that, you know, transitioning to white gold would be the way to go before I discovered, you know, my obsession with rose gold. So the thing with this piece is that I don't really wear it that much. I think I've only worn out maybe once. And that's just because I think my preference for rose gold over white gold or yellow gold. It is a very nice piece. In terms of the pros, I would say it's very elegant. There's a pearl, there's a diamond. What else would a girl want, right? And the item is not that expensive. So I find that Tiffany price point, it really ranges and they are really accommodating for their entry level. They have some silver pieces too that ranges up to gold, diamond, you know, and it goes on and on. So Tiffany is good in the sense that you can kind of find a piece that you want within like a vast range of price points. But in terms of the cons, I would have to say there's a couple of cons for this piece. So the number one con would have to be that pearls is something that you can't really wear 24/7. You're not supposed to technically get it wet, which is just blows my mind since pearls are found in water because it apparently loses its luster if you're showering with it or using all sorts of products with it. So it's a fairly more delicate piece, I would say. And also, I don't really like the Tiffany chains. I don't know if I only have this one necklace, so I don't know if I can't really speak for other Tiffany necklaces, but the one that I got, as you can see, the shininess is not really up to par with SOC later Cartier Van Cleef in terms of how high polished the chain is. So that I'm not really a fan of. Also the Tiffany clasp, I'll show you guys like a clip inserted. It's not the easiest to get your necklace on and off because the opening is so incredibly small. Sometimes with this necklace, because it's kind of like a circular pearl, it kind of flips off to the side, as you can see. So it doesn't really stay perfectly centered where the diamond is facing the front. It kind of flops side to side. It really doesn't detract too much from the necklace, but just minor things that kind of bother me somewhat. Okay, so the second item that I got was, of course, my Cartier Leger necklace, and I've talked about this to death. I think you guys know how much I love this necklace, and I wear it all the time. So the necklace actually comes in rose gold, white gold, as well as yellow gold, and you can actually pick the size of the diamond that you want. And I find that it layers really easily with other pieces, and with the affordable price point of around $1,000, it's really a great value item. The best part of it is that the chain, like I said, is incredibly high polished and it's very, very shiny. So even though it looks like the piece wouldn't really show up that much because it's such a small dainty diamond, this chain just really carries the piece and makes a huge difference. So I can't say the same about, say, Hermes chains. They're rose gold. I've tried their finesse necklaces and I find that their chains are very normal in a sense. It doesn't kind of sparkle and it's not high polish, so you really don't get that expensive feel with the chain. So that's why I don't actually prefer Hermes necklaces or bracelets actually, and I'll talk about the bracelets later, but I absolutely love Cartier necklaces. So Cartier actually gives you a cleaning pouch or a cleaning kit with your purchase as well, which I find is great, whereas Van Cleef does not, but both Van Cleef and Cartier will give you a travel pouch. And in terms of cons, I would have to say, once again, there's absolutely nothing. I think it's worth every dollar spent, and I think it's just a fantastic either starter piece or a layering piece or just a well-rounded necklace. Alright, so moving on to my third fine jewelry piece that I purchased, it was this Van Cleef & Arpel butterfly pendant in yellow gold with mother of pearl. So I really like the mother of pearl, and I liked it more in the butterfly pendant than in the sweet Alhambra, because the sweet Alhambra is a little too symmetrical, whereas the butterfly is a little bit off angle, which gives it a little bit more interest, in my opinion at least. So I picked this piece up, and how much do I wear it? I would have to say not that much realistically, mainly because I have the Cartier Leger on all the time and I'm just too lazy to put on anything else. So as for the pros, I think it's, you know, small, it's dainty. It also, the mother of pearl really contrasts well with all types of skin tone, which is probably why people like it. It looks very fresh. I think that the yellow gold and the rose gold is not really that different. So if you were to layer metals, if you were to layer, say, yellow gold with rose gold, you won't really tell that much. So I think it's still quite versatile. So those are the pros. And as for the con, I would say, of course, you all know mother of pearl is a stone that's more prone to shrinkage, more prone to water damage. So it's not technically recommended for you to wear them all the time with showering with water, because technically the stone could shrink over time, it could warp, but it's not really that big of a deal, since my Van Cleef SA has told me in the past that if that does happen, they can always change out the stone in the necklace for a couple $100s, which is not too crazy, right? So if you really wanted to wear it all the time, you can. Another con I would say is that you can see here the pendant does slide side to side. So it's not secured in the middle. What that means is that if you're wearing it and you're moving a lot, sometimes it can start to swing and then you end up seeing the backing of the necklace. So that's kind of like an inconvenience, just some feature to know. It doesn't really bother me, but it's just, you know, not as secure. But however, the pendant will never fall off. It's not going to fall off of either end, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so next up on the list is my one and only bracelet, which is from Cartier, and it is the Juste Un Clou rose gold bracelet in the small size with some diamonds around the nail head and a little around the pin as well. So in terms of how often I wear this, I would have to say moderately. So I try to wear this when I go out, for example, when I see friends, but I can't really wear it all the time because I do work in healthcare and I don't want to seem too flashy or have gross aerosols all over my bracelet, because I am working with my hands. If I worked in office or desk job, I would love to wear this all the time, because as you'll know later, it is kind of a pain to put on and off. So in terms of the pro for this bracelet, I would have to say I prefer Cartier over any of the other brands, for example Van Cleef or Hermes bracelets, because I love how they have custom sizing. As you can see, I have very, very thin wrists, to the point where if you just look at my wrists, you would think that I haven't eaten anything in like months. But it's very hard for me to find bracelets that actually fit. So I love that Cartier actually has a bracelet that goes down to a size 4, which is the smallest size, and this is actually in the 4. So the nice thing is that it does not slide around that much, and it fits pretty snugly, because I hate it when bangles just roll everywhere because it just hits everything and it's just kind of annoying. I know that Hermes bangles, they come in like 2 different sizes, so they're pretty big and they won't fit as comfortably. And for Van Cleef, I think you can remove some of the links off of their bracelets, but I just love how custom the Cartier sizing is. So they do fit very snugly, which is another pro, and I do find that they're holding up very well. There's barely any scratches, because I guess it's not like a bangle bracelet, so it doesn't get scratched that easily, and I'm not really layering it with anything, so it's less likely to get scratched. And I find that it's holding up fairly well, even with the mechanism, which, you know, to get it on and off is a little finicky, but I find that there hasn't been any warping issues, and I find that it's holding up pretty well. So in terms of the cons for this bracelet, I would have to say that it is kind of a pain to put this on. I guess it's easier than say like unscrewing a screw and maybe losing the screw, but I'll show you how you're supposed to put this bracelet on. It's kind of just like twisting the bracelet, and because there's some sharp areas like this nail and the nail head, sometimes you can end up with some scratches on your skin. It can be a little painful. As for my fifth item, I've picked up this Hermes Echappee ring not too long ago, and this is in the rose gold with the diamond detail similar to my Juste Un Clou. So the reason I actually picked this up is because of how well it pairs with the Juste Un Clou, because it's similar. It's like a rose gold bangle, rose gold thin ring, and with this small little diamond detail. So I love them paired together. So in terms of how often I wear it, I would say moderately, because I would wear it only when I wear my Juste Un Clou. As for the pros of this ring, I would say it is a pretty statement ring. It's not like a dainty ring. So it does kind of draw kind of some attention, but it's still low key. You know, if you don't know Hermes, you still won't really know. It's not like it has a giant H on it or something. So in terms of cons, I would probably say this ring is probably the dirtiest out of all of my fine jewelry pieces, because of course, what are you going to expect when you're using your hands all the time? It's going to get dirty, it's going to get scratched, and there's probably some small scratches on it. So that's to be expected though, because rings and bracelets are probably going to get scratched up the most. It doesn't really bother me that much though, and I think it still looks really nice. So last but not least, we have the final item in my collection, which is what I picked up recently, and is the Van Cleef Frivole necklace in rose gold in the extra small size. So this piece I'm not going to really talk about because I made a whole entire video on it, so make sure to check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But that pretty much wraps up my collection. Okay, so that's it for my small fine jewelry collection review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!